Class, evening. Welcome to my class in CRIM 6, Dispute Resolution and Crisis Management, in my class in Section Kilo. This is your session 4, or our topic is about mediation. In the first, this is four videos, and the first 3 videos I discussed about the chapter or the session 4, the applicable terms of mediation. I just review the selection of mediator. The following terms describe the ethical conduct of a mediator. Separation of mediation from counseling and legal advice. The roles of a counsel in mediation proceedings. Effect of agreements to submit a dispute to mediation under institutional rules. The exemption to the privilege of confidentiality of information. And last is fees and cost of mediation. And now proceed to our examination. Okay. Under Public Act 9285. Yun po yung mga pinag-aaralan natin under sa ganung batas po. Ngayon, pupusin tayo sa examination or your chapter or session 4, examination 10 items. Prepare for your answer. You can send your 1/4 sheet. You can picture it, or you can just type your answer in the comment section so I can evaluate your grades. Okay, your score. Okay, instruction. My instruction is just choose the most correct answer. Okay, this is a multiple choice question, 1 to 10 items. Listen carefully. Number 1 question in our session 4, mediation. Okay, number 1 question, what does ad hoc mediation refer for? Or refer to? What does a ad hoc mediation refer to? Letter A. Okay, this is the multiple choice question. Letter A, mediation conducted under the rules of a mediation institution. Letter B, any mediation under the institutional or court annexed. Letter C, mediation ordered by a court in violation of the parties' agreement. Letter D, mediation conducted under the auspices of the court. Okay, yan ang question number 1 ha. Number 2 question, what is the key characteristic of court annexed mediation? A, it is voluntarily and conduct under the rules of a mediation institution. B, it is conducted after the court has acquired jurisdiction over the dispute. Letter C, it is ordered by the court to be conducted in accordance with the agreement of the parties. Letter D, it is a process where a certificate mediator is mandatory. 3, who is considered a non-party participant in a mediation proceeding? Number 3 question, who is considered a non-party participant in a mediation proceeding? A, person who conducts the mediation. B, person who consent is necessary to resolve the dispute. C, a person who participates as a witness, resource person, or expert. D, a certified mediator. Number 4 question. According to Article 3.1 of Republic Act 9285 IRR, when do the rules apply? A, only to court annexed mediation. B, only to ad hoc mediation. Letter C, only to case pending before the quasi-judicial agency. D, to voluntary mediation, whether ad hoc or institutional, in default or an agreement between the parties on the applicable rules. What is the state policy on mediation as stated in the implementing rules? To promote adversarial proceedings, letter A. B. To prioritize formal court proceeding over mediation. Letter C. Promote candor and confidential in mediation process. Letter D. Good evening, buhaing Kleng. Sa aking estudyante. Okay? What is the number 5 question? What is the state policy on mediation as stated in implementing rules? To promote adversarial proceedings. Letter B. To prioritize formal court proceedings over mediation. Letter C. To promote candor and confidentiality in the mediation process. Letter D. To discourage parties from participating in mediation. Number 6. Do parties have the right to select a mediator according to Article 3.3 of IRR, Republic Act 9285? Letter A. No, the mediator is appointed by the court. B. Yes, the parties have the freedom to select a mediator. Letter C. Only if the mediation institution provides a list of certified mediators. Letter D. Only if the court approves the selection. Yan po yung tatanungan sa number 6. Then, proceed to number 7 question. Is a special qualification required for a mediator according to Section 13 of Republic Act 9285? A. Yes, it is mandatory for all mediators. B. No, unless required in the mediation agreement or by the parties. C. Yes, for court annex mediation only. Letter D. No, only for ad hoc mediation. Letter E. None of all the above. Wala daw sa mga napili. Letter E. May letter E na pagpipilian, ha? Okay. Number 8. Can a party waive their right to participate in mediation according to Section 14 of Republic Act 9285? No. Letter A. No. Participation is mandatory for all parties. B. Yes, but only if the court approves the waiver. Letter C. No. Only lawyer can participate on behalf of the party. D. Yes, except as otherwise provided in Republic Act 9285. Okay, question number 9. When may a mediator be replaced? As per Article 3.4 of IRR, Republic Act 9285, if the mediator is unable to act due to any reason, yun po yung letter A. Letter B, if the parties decide to change the mediator for any reason. Letter C, only if the court orders their replacement. Letter D, if the mediator is not certified. Okay? Yan po yung mga katanungan. And number 10, under the circumstances, may a mediator refuse or withdraw according to Article 3.5 IR Republic Act 9285? Letter A, only if the parties request a mediator to withdraw. B, only in case of evident partiality or corruption. Letter C, in any circumstances, the mediator cannot refuse or withdraw. Letter D, if the mediator is unable to provide effective service or there is a conflict of interest among other circumstances. Okay po. Thank you for sa pagsubaybay at sa pakisagutan lang po yung 10 items sa aking mga estudyante sa section kilo. Thank you po.